If you're a soon-to-be final expense agent or a brand new final expense agent and finding it frustrating, possibly even overwhelmed with learning your final expense carriers, then you'll definitely want to listen to this video. My name is David Duford, owner of Duford Insurance Group, where I train and recruit agents nationally to sell final expense, Medicare, and annuities, both face-to-face and over the phone. And if you're the type of agent that's afraid you're going to lose out on closing business, final expense business, due to a lack of carrier understanding, then I want to invite you to check out this video because I am now announcing my upcoming new Zoom-based webinar called the Final Expense Carrier Underwriting Workshop. And it's specifically designed for those people, those agents, who are just worried about overcoming the carrier understanding hurdle. They see all these different carriers, all these different underwriting requirements, and find that learning everything seems to be a Herculean task and wants to overcome, wants to take the complex and simplify, but doesn't know how. And if that's something that sounds like you, then this is going to be the perfect event. If you're worried you're going to say, for example, goof up on an application and possibly lose the deal because maybe you don't understand how to complete applications for specific carriers, or you just don't really quite understand the complexity of all of the carriers that are out there, and you want to make this process as easy as possible, then what I'm going to show you in this boot camp is going to take the most difficult concepts of absorbing these major final expense carriers that most of us are exposed to and taking them down to their simplest forms so that you can easily understand the carriers, how to complete applications, why you would pick one carrier over another, so that at the end of the workshop, you feel completely confident that you better know how to place quality coverage on your clients so as to give them the best deal and also to prevent them from being replaced. So I'd like to take you through a little overview of what to expect here, kind of answer some basic questions, and give you the scoop on what we're going to do in this one-day final expense training workshop for underwriting, which is going to happen on November 20th, Friday. Now, before we jump into the training material today about what we're going to learn in this workshop, I want to tell you a little bit of a story of my experience as a broker who represented a bunch of different carriers full-time for many years in the final expense arena. Here's the thing, guys. You have to be completely understanding and aware of what your options are as a final expense agent when you're visiting your clients. When I was full-time up till about 2017 in the final expense business, it was a competitive environment, a more and more growing competitive environment for final expense agents. And now fast forward to today, it's even more competitive than it ever was. And where we find the competition is not so much in trying to win the deal, it's actually in trying to keep the deal or uncover opportunities for replacement sales that may be kind of hard to find because you don't quite understand the underwriting of your carriers or you don't understand the underwriting of the other options out there. And if you don't take the steps that I will teach in this workshop that we're going to talk about here in a second, you will find yourself missing out on sales opportunities that you could easily get, which could enhance your income by 4 or 5 income figures a year. You're going to miss out on opportunities to place the best quality coverage to prevent your other competition from coming in and replacing you. Again, I have talked to a multitude of final expense agents for many years now, and most of top agents will agree that a big percentage of their actual sales comes from the replacing of existing coverage. So one of the skills we're going to develop is, well, how do you find those opportunities, but how do you also prevent from being a statistic to those top producers that go out there and replace coverage that's inferior, that isn't the best fit? And so many agents right now, and this is a big driver of why I'm doing this, so many agents write the inferior option coverage on their clients, and all it takes is a mediocre salesperson, not even a great final expense agent, to come behind who has some knowledge of the carriers out there and simply explains to Mrs. Jones, hey, look, I can save you $10, $15, $20 a month on this policy and get you more coverage too. And 9 out of 10 times, Mrs. Jones on a fixed income is going to do it. It's not personal to you as the agent. It's just business. And again, how can I say this? Because I did this every single week as a full-time agent. I teach my agents to do this every single week as full-time agents. And we do so on an ethical basis, not pushing anything wrong for the client, but simply unearthing poor placement from other agents and find ways to enhance their coverage. And this is really the whole purpose of this final expense carrier underwriting workshop, is to teach you to do the same. And a lot of that capability certainly comes from the sales process, but it also comes from your understanding of identifying sales opportunities due to underwriting. And also, as you make sales, making sure you sell the best client, the best type of policy, so that your competition doesn't come back and possibly replace you because, he watched my training and learned how, right? Okay, so let's get a little more specific. What is this final expense underwriting workshop all about? So first of all, this is a one-day Zoom-based workshop. We're going to do everything virtually. There's no face-to-face component at all, as much as I'd love to do that. Virtual learning is the place to be right now. So this is going to be a one-day, full-day Zoom-based workshop, again, specifically designed to improve your final expense carrier underwriting skills with the goal of you being able to close more final expense business. And for that business that you close, keep it because you have a great understanding of the carriers out there and you understand how to write quality business that sticks, because in this business, it's all about not what you close, but what you keep on the books. Also, we're going to have in-depth, detailed carrier underwriting for over 20 final expense carriers. So the reason we're doing this, guys, is a lot of you may use different carriers than the primary carriers that I use. So we're actually going to go through all 20 carriers in a detailed fashion, teaching you the underwriting behind all of these carriers, as well as the application processes and how you complete those carriers, as well as the prescription guidelines, etc. Again, the purpose of this is so you have a base of knowledge of what the major final expense carriers do out there, so that when the time arises, you already know which carriers, even if they're ones you don't use a lot of, will best cover your client so you can more easily reach for them and write your client with the best overall coverage and pricing product. You're also going to learn my step-by-step process in determining the best underwriting for the most complex cases. So one of the things that's really important that you learn how to do is figure out, based off of the data you collect in the pre-qualification stage when you ask about health, what carriers are going to be the best bet. And a lot of this is very overwhelming because there's a lot of different moving parts. It's very rare one client has one set of conditions that are easily understood. Sometimes you run into these wacky cases that are just out there and strange and may sound like they fit with one carrier but don't because of one other issue. And organizing all this data in a logical sequence to determine the best option can be kind of dicey at times. Well, I'm going to teach you exactly what I do as an agent, what I teach my other agents to do, so you can more confidently pick from the selection of carriers what your best options are going to be. And of course, you're going to learn my step-by-step process for learning how to write the best overall carriers for your final expense clients. We'll talk more about that in a minute. You're also going to learn the walkthroughs on completing applications for both the electronic application and the verbal authorization applications for all of the companies. By the way, if you're wondering which companies you're going to learn for, I forgot to mention that earlier. Let's scroll down here and I'll show you. This is on my best or top 21 final expense carrier list. It's all of these companies on the screen. We're going to go into detail on all of these that I'm highlighting. These will all be covered in some amount, which most of you all have access to in various amounts. And yes, we're going to go into great detail on underwriting and application processes for all of these and learn why and what circumstances we would use these carriers, and on other circumstances we wouldn't. You'll also learn strategies in taking applications to convert more business. So what this means is that I'm going to teach you some different strategies, some plan A, plan B, or plan C strategies to help you convert business when it may be questionable that you may not be able to convert your ideal application. And so how to take another application instead, but save the deal and prevent the lack or loss of opportunity, because it's just next to impossible sometimes to get back in the door. So we're going to teach you some strategies I've used, what I employ in teaching my agents, again, on how to conserve their ability to keep any kind of business, at least close some kind of business while they're in the home, as opposed to losing out on unforced errors or mistakes that could have been prevented had there been some prior knowledge. And again, to be clear, this is for telesales and face-to-face, no matter what you focus on. And again, we're going to talk about all of the specific stuff that's relevant to either camp. We're going to talk about handling applications, disclosure reforms, weird state-specific stuff. Again, some states are funky, and you need to kind of know what to expect. So we'll cover all of that for both telesales and face-to-face. We're going to spend some time talking about how I teach my agents and how I personally underwrite in final expense cases. So we'll talk about scripting. It's really important you ask questions in the right way in order to elicit the best possible answer. Sometimes our clients aren't going to willingly tell us about that, touch of cancer or touch of AIDS that they may have. So we have to ask the questions the right way, and I'm going to teach you specifically how to do that to elicit the most honest responses from our prospects. We're also going to do a full hour of Ask Dave Anything. So if in the course of this final expense underwriting training, I miss anything that you want to expand on, or maybe there's something I mentioned that seemed interesting you want me to build upon, we're going to have a full hour at the end of the discussion and discuss all of that and any questions that you might have to wrap it up. And of course, this event is entirely recorded. It is something that you can kind of pick and choose to watch. You may not be interested in all the carriers, but you may be only interested in some of them. So the cool thing is that you can just kind of pop in and out for the ones that we're going to do. And then if you miss anything too, again, it's all recorded. You can go back and use this resource guide when you're studying on a carrier. You want to refresh your knowledge on why you would use a carrier, what its advantages are, etc. And you're going to have lifetime access. So as I do these more and more throughout the years, obviously the underwriting is going to change for these carriers. So by buying into this program, you're going to have an ongoing, constantly updated resource guide that will easily or more helpfully help you when it comes to figuring out which carriers to use, how their underwriting and pricing works, and why you would write them. And to make this whole thing a little bit more appealing, if it already wasn't appealing enough, if writing more business and keeping more business isn't enough, of course, I love throwing in free bonuses to sweeten the deal a little bit more. So let me run through these real quick. So first of all, by buying into this one-day workshop, you're going to get 2 months of my Inner Circle program. It's for final expense agents, phone sales, or face-to-face that want to get involved in my training program, but don't necessarily want to join my agency. This isn't something you would get or have to be charged for if you are in my agency. This is just to be a program if you're not in my agency. Maybe you don't want to move or you're happy where you're at. So this program is great to get into my training, learn how we do things, get some ongoing rigorous support. You get this 2 months completely for free, and that's $194 value. You get all 3 of my books in ebook format for free. We'll zip all those over to you for a $39 value. You get a free one-on-one consulting session with me and ask me anything on a one-on-one basis. That's $199 value. And a free underwriting final expense worksheet to organize your client's health history. Of course, this is priceless. You get to help you keep your information you collect more organized so that you close more business. And last but not least, and I'm going to show you this in a second, I'm going to give you my free comprehensive final expense carrier total analysis worksheet. And what's cool about this is it links to all of the application processes, important links that you may want to keep handy on each of the carriers, agent guides, product info, carrier underwriting cheat sheets, prescription cheat sheets, and more. This is one of our most important pieces of tools or resource guides that we have in my agency. This is what all my agents get. You get it completely for free. And let me go ahead and show it on the screen here. Again, just a sneak peek on what this is all about. You can see this on the screen now. I've got all of the major carriers we're going to talk about listed, and then we have columns of useful information and links. For example, what kind of apps they take, if they're telesales friendly, the process tutorials, video tutorials on completing applications, agent guides, e-app links, sample apps, rate guides, RX guides, bill charts, and then more information on if they're take Social Security deposit billing, payment information, limits on face amounts, age limits, and more. This is incredibly comprehensive. This is just a sneak peek at what this is about. What you didn't look at is the cheat sheets that are specifically designed for final expense face-to-face agents and final expense telesales agents for the carriers that are relevant for both, as well as common prescriptions used to help you understand the prescription processes that much more. Bottom line, guys, I hope you can really see the value in this program. And if your goal is to sell more final expense policies and to virtually eliminate your competition replacing your policies, and you want that, this training is for you. And here is my promise to you, and I want you to understand that I'm a man of my word, and I deliver value in the biggest way possible. If you are on my YouTube channel, you know this. You know this is the thing that I live by, is giving more than receiving. And my promise to you, if you purchase this program today, is this. First of all, you're going to receive a clearer, better understanding of each of your final expense carriers. So many agents I see are just flat out overwhelmed by the process. They're scared of picking carriers. They don't want to mess up the client's coverage amounts, but they want to make sales, they want to make money, and they want to level up their career. And my promise to you is that you're going to better understand the carriers, why you would write them, so you feel more confident in writing business on your clients, which helps you, it helps your client, it helps everybody. Again, you're going to get more confidence in selecting the best choice carrier for your clients. You're going to get more of a feeling of, again, more confidence in completing applications correctly the first time. Again, this is something big that if you are just getting started, you probably feel pretty scared about this. It's like, well, how do I complete an application? What if I mess it up? And I can tell you, if you mess stuff up like applications, you may be in a position where you have to go back and call the client back up or visit them, and you may never talk to them again. You could lose the deal. So we'll work through this. We'll help you understand the app process entirely, again, to soothe and reduce your stress about application completion, so you can focus more on helping your client and closing the business. Of course, you'll close and keep more business. That's our promise to you, and reduce frustrating replacements from other agents. You will reduce the competition's ability to upend you and get rid of your policies, because now that you have this better understanding of carrier selection and why you'd write carriers, more of your business is going to stick. You're going to be less stressful because of reduced chargebacks, and the business is going to be. And so here's the thing, guys. You know, I back everything that I do up with a money back guarantee of some sort, and I want to tell you about my ironclad money back guarantee with this particular program. And it is this: if you're not totally thrilled with what you've learned in the final expense underwriting seminar, just say so. Just email us. That's all it takes. Just say, hey, I wasn't happy. It didn't work. Or I just don't want it anymore. I don't care. Whatever your reason is good enough for me. Just say so, and in the first 30 days after the workshop, at any point in that first 30 days after the workshop completes, and I will completely refund your investment, period. Again, I don't care what the reason is, if it's a good reason or a not so good reason. If you just don't like it and aren't thrilled, tell me. I'll give you your money back. And on top of that, I'm going to let you keep all of those free bonuses I talked about, just for my way of saying thank you for checking things out. So what are we looking at for price? Real simple. First of all, this is free if you're an agent of mine. If you're watching this, you work in my agency, or you're part of a sub-agency in my agency, but it's affiliated through me, you're not paying a dime, okay? This is not for you to spend if you're already a part of my agent. This is, again, a benefit of working in my agency. You get this thing for free. Just let us know you're going to be there, and then bada bing, bada boom. However, if you're not in my agency and you're wanting to join this, we're pricing this cheaper than some of my other seminars, because I really think this is important information to get out there. And I think at this price point, we'll get a lot of people in. I really want to help a lot of people, to help your clients out, to help you out. All we're asking for is, during our early bird special, it's $149 to get access to all this awesome information. It's just really a steal. As long as you buy before midnight on November 6th, that is the expiration of this early bird special. That's going to go up to $199, assuming we've got spots left at that point. More on that in a second. And again, if you don't think this is for you, look at it this way. $149, maybe you're thinking that's a little steep, more than you expected. Look at it this way. If all you get from this one-day training is the ability to write one more policy a month, maybe you have a commission average of $500, probably a little lower than the average independent agent. But let's just say you average $500 per sale. You've already paid for the thing just on that extra one-time sale that you got a month. Now, again, are you going to sell just one more a month? I think it's going to be more, but I'm trying to be conservative here just to show you that this is clearly a win. And then look at it this way. I'm not even mentioning the probable increase in the quality of your business. Just think about it this way. You're going to write more and keep more of your business, so you'll make more because your persistency level is higher, which will translate into greater renewals and make your life easier and reduce stress. And if we look at it that way, $149 is, frankly, it's a drop in the bucket for all of the knowledge, but not just the knowledge, the results you're going to get from actually doing this and going through this. This is actionable information that will make a definite, measurable impact in your business. And again, remember, you're doing this program and getting all sorts of free bonuses on top of it. It's just not the program. It's all of this information. Again, 2 months worth of the Inner Circle program, 3 of my books in ebook format, a one-on-one consult session with me, my free comprehensive final expense carrier total analysis worksheet, my underwriting worksheet to help you write more and organize more of your business. All of this, again, backed by my 30-day money-back guarantee. If you just don't like it for whatever reason, if you're not totally thrilled, within 30 days of the seminar, just tell us. We'll give you the money back, and you get to keep your entire bonus as well. So what do you do next? So very simple. There should be an order button either in the upper right hand or left hand or somewhere in the screen or in the description box. It's going to take you to my website. It's going to link to the website to place an order and go ahead and lock in the cheaper price. If you happen to have been here before, the early bird special ends Friday, November 6th at midnight Eastern. And again, we are limiting the attendance to 50 people max, paid attendees max. I'm not trying to make this some enormous meeting. I really want to keep this a healthy size, but not too out of whack, so that I can answer your questions as they arise and cover any kind of issues or questions that you have with the carriers and underwriting, etc. So get on this. I assume this is going to sell out because most of our seminars are probably 3 to 4 times as much, if not even higher. This is a cheap one I'm doing here as far as pricing goes, considering the amount of value that you can get directly from learning this material. So go ahead and reserve a spot now. Don't worry if you're worried about this. You got a 30-day basically time period to check this out and see if it's for you. You're getting a lot of great bonuses to help reinforce the learning, and it's all recorded, virtually done, so there's nowhere to travel to. You save on the travel expenses, and even if you can't make the event and you want to attend it later, you can check into the ones you're interested in, come in live for a little bit, come out, watch the ones in recording for lifetime access. And as carriers change and we do these underwritings, you get to get updated versions of this. This is a good deal, guys. This is probably the best deal of the year I'm offering. Take advantage of it now. Simply click the links above and below and go to my website, place the order through, and then you'll get more of an itinerary of what to expect and what we're going to review and kind of the cadence and what you're going to go, okay? Thank you guys so much for listening, and hopefully we'll see you at the final expense workshop on underwriting. And that's going to be Friday on November 20th. And we'll see you then. Thank you.